Hello, 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 beautiful women, and welcome to day 6 of the Moo and Flow Challenge. Day 6, which means that this is our last day we're going to have together. It's been a great week, and I would like to say really quickly how grateful I am for people tuning in and for willing to learn some new things about their bodies and about mobility movements and how they can possibly make you feel and how to incorporate mobility into your daily life. So today, day 6, we're going to put everything together. So all of the learning you did over the last 5 days, we're now going to combine it into one powerful, incredibly effective routine for the entire body. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a few movements from each of the days for each areas of your body, and then I'm going to teach you how to combine it into one continuous flow. The flow will last somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. I haven't timed it. I'm just going to go with it. This is what I do with my clients every single day before their sessions. This is what I do with myself every single day. It's a little bit different every day, but I'm going to try really hard to do the movements that we have learned together over the last 5 days. Hello, Glad. So lovely of you to join me. It's Saturday in New Zealand already. Must be Friday where you are. Yeah, it's a bit of a working day for me today, but that is all good. So I think we should probably start. Let's start. Again, I'm going to divide it into closed chain mobility and open chain mobility. So we're going to start standing up and then we will continue on the ground with some closed chain mobility, okay? Let me know in the comments how you're feeling today. I'm feeling great, actually. I'm totally pumped about this. This has been one of my most favorite, most successful challenging to date. I hope you can see me better. I'm just going to try flick the light on. Would that be better? Probably not. It's a sunny day, but the sun is not hitting my studio just yet. Okay, let's do it. We're going to start. So we're going to go from head to toe. Yeah? We're going to start with the neck. Let's just go for some really gentle neck tilts. Side to side. Make sure that your shoulders are compressed down. Yeah, so you're not hiking them towards the towards the ear, but you're compressing them down, and you want nice posture as well. So slightly engaged glutes and slightly engaged abs, and just side to side. Beautiful mobility movement for the neck. Where we're going to transition now, it's forwards and backwards. This is beautiful because when you go down, and be mindful here, you feel the stretch all the way down your back. Yeah, and then you're opening up. So we're going to mobilize the neck from all directions. We're just going to do open mobility for the neck today. I had a question about someone getting dizzy or lightheaded when they're doing mobility movements. I sometimes get like that too. Not always, sometimes. Usually when I'm tired and dehydrated. It's interesting. There's a lot of big vessels going up into the brain. So I wonder if you're just kind of slightly compressing them. Now we're going to do semicircles. This is wonderful for this side. This is where we often get tight when we get stressed because we're holding stress here usually. So semicircles, yeah? Just semicircles, side to side, really mindfully, yeah? This feels good. I've just spent the whole morning working on a computer, so this is magical for me. Okay, last one. We're going to go forward as far as you can possibly go, retract back, and then push up, yeah? In the kind of upward motion, try to pretend or imagine that you have a string tied to the top of your head, yeah? So here, and then come back. So you are essentially tracking this parabol shape with your head and neck. Yeah. So this is an amazing movement to put the head back if this is your posture. Yeah. If you notice in the mirror or in the window as you're passing by that your head is not sitting beautifully on top of your shoulders, on top of your the rest of your body if you're here, then do this one a lot. Also, just lying on the ground, we'll put the head, you're just using gravity to put the head back, okay? Nice. Okay, we're going to transition into the thoracic spine. So if you remember, that's the area here, and the shoulders. So we're going to start with the rolling shoulder blade. When you're doing the rolling shoulder blade, you want to think about rolling the shoulder blades rather than just the shoulder, yeah? So you're really trying to feel a lot of good stuff happening in the shoulder blades, yeah? So big opposing circles. At the beginning, you can just go nice and slow. And then when you can start smoothing it out, do so. And we're going to go both ways, okay? So both ways. Go the other way now too. Going to get into the shoulders a little bit, perhaps into the elbows, I'm thinking. Yeah. I usually just start doing mobility and my body kind of tells me where it wants to go, what's tight. This is such a wonderful way to check in with your body every single morning. Okay, let's go into some shoulder circles. So here, make sure you're compressing down. If you joined me on the training about shoulders, then you know that when you're doing this, you need to compress the shoulder blade, the shoulder down, so you feel slight tightness behind the shoulder going down your back in the lat, yeah? So go here. It doesn't have to be big, yeah? And then reverse. If you remember the infinities, you can do the infinities, which is a front circle with the side circle combined, yeah? So think infinity symbol or a figure 8 and see if this will work out for you. Mobility movements are wonderful for your brain. It will promote neuroplasticity and maintaining the connections in your brain. There is a lot of, and reverse, there is a lot of research about movement, and doing daily movement is incredibly nourishing for our brains. If you are a woman in midlife or nearing menopause or in perimenopause, we are incredibly prone to dementia and Alzheimer's. Women are, yeah? Let's go to the other side. So try, because of our declining hormones, so try really hard to do some awesome things for your brain. Movement is one of the easiest ones because you're basically killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You are exercising and nourishing your brain as well as exercising and nourishing your body. Think about mobility as a nourishment for your body and your joints. It is. It promotes the lubrication and the functions of your lymphatic systems as well. It's wonderful. Okay, try the infinities if that works for you. And this is where you use your brain. This is about proprioception, which is a big word, meaning knowing where your body is in space without having to look at it. Yeah. So theoretically, you can close your eyes and do mobility with your eyes closed. It's actually quite lovely. You will be entering a really beautiful meditative state here as well. Yeah. Let's go into a bit of thoracic spine. So we did this one where you pulling your kind of pressing your arms forward as much as you can, creating this wonderful bow shape with your upper body. Then you're going to squeeze your glutes and then open the other way. Yeah. So you are stretching, mobilizing your back and stretching, mobilizing your chest and your shoulders at the same time. Yeah. So flow in your own time from back and forth. Make sure you're breathing. Beautiful. Let's get into the elbows, yeah? So just here. You can just go one at the time as well if that's easier for you. Try not to move the elbow. You're just moving the, yeah? So don't dip the elbow up and down. It's one, and that's why sometimes at the beginning it's nice just to hold your fingers in there to stabilize the joint. If you can do it without it, wonderful. And go both ways. If you can do both, fabulous. I wonder if you remember the wrist mobility movements as well we did, which were wonderful. We'll just do one, we'll just do the motorbike here. So the motorbike is when you're pressing this part of your palm forward. Let's get into the wrist too. And then you can go side to side as well. If you want to go a little bit further, just look at, I think it was day 2. Day 2, we did shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to slightly lower the screen so you can see me better. Now, bend your legs slightly and make sure that you're engaging your glutes. Here, you're going to place your elbows on top of your knees, and now you're in this kind of deadlift position. Yeah. So make sure you're not loading your lower back. You feel no discomfort in the lower back. And then what you're going to do, you're going to open up here. Open up the thoracic spine. I'm going to show you the front of you as well. This is lovely for the upper back. If I show you from the front, it's here. I'm not sure we did this one. So there you go. It's a bit of a bonus. Wonderful. Now we're going to go into the leg swings. I'm just going to go a little bit further so you can see me. Yeah, it was these ones, and we did them in our leg training when we were talking about hips and knees. So leg goes up, thigh parallel to the ground if you can, foot parallel to the ground, and then you're flicking dynamically back, trying to keep the knees together. If you're struggling with balance, just hold on to a wall and make sure you do both. Yeah? So a little bit of leg swings. They feel so good. It's such a nice mobility kind of stretching movement for the quadricep, which is the front of the thigh. Fabulous. Okay, shall we get down onto the ground for a little bit of closed chain mobility? Fantastic. Okay, let's get into the shoulders and the upper back with these transitions. So both palms are facing down, and then you are going to glide through and transition from side to side. Go to the depth that is good for you and don't push it. Make sure that both arms are straight, so there's no bend. And just go mindfully from side to side in your own time. Oh, that feels good. This is one of my favorites. And then we'll go into some thoracic rotations as well. So if you remember, we did this one. Now the palm goes up. You're going to thread through. You're going to try to place your shoulder and your head on the ground. And here you can push this shoulder back. Then you're going to transition and open up on the other side. Options here, just half open or open fully. I prefer just opening halfway. I feel that I can stabilize a little bit better, and then it doesn't make me over twist and move from the hips, because your hips need to stay in one position. They don't move. And go side to side. Open up, see how that feels. And then when you're ready, transition to the other side. See if you're getting any pops and cracks. Pops and cracks are okay. Nervy shooting pain, not okay. In which case you stop. It means there's a trapped nerve somewhere, or you're pushing your body into some unsafe ranges. Just go to where your body naturally goes, where it feels good without pushing it too much. Okay, we're going to go into the rocking shin lunge, which again is one of my favorites. It's kind of hard to choose my favorite mobility movements. Okay, go nice and wide on the lunge for a bit of extra support. Okay, from here, I'm going to show you first the full movement, the full range of motion that you can get into, and then I'm going to show you some modifications in case this is a bit much for you today. The full movement is you go all the way down, sit on the heel, And then you're going to come forward as far as you possibly can. Yeah? So I have this range available to me today. If you think that you've got some limited range of motion in your joints, or it feels uncomfortable on your knee, then you just start on top. Start somewhere where it feels good, conservatively. And as you're getting better and better, you start lowering and going further down as your body allows you comfortably to do so. Then you're going to switch. And then you go on the other side. I'm getting a little bit of clicking. Clicking is okay. But if you're experiencing a lot of discomfort in your knees, be really mindful in this movement. It's quite deep, okay? If you can go all the way down, then go all the way down. So this is a wonderful movement for the hips, but also mobilizing the ankles and the knees. All right, I think we're going to get into the hips now, shall we? All righty, we're going to do the whole hip floor. I'm going to show you a bit of a bonus movement that I know we didn't do when we were doing the hips. Just going to sort out my microphone. It's a hip flexor stretch. So hip flexors are the small muscles around your hip that are essentially moving your hip. They often become quite tight, particularly the piriformis, which is one of the biggest ones. And then often people have, somebody said that in the lunges they were feeling their lower back. That was probably the piriformis, because it starts on the front of the hip, goes through the pelvis and attaches here. And this is sometimes what people load when they don't know how to engage their glutes as well. So start here and then come into the shin box switch. And we did this one when we did our hip mobility movements. From here, very mindfully, move your hips forward. It's quite deep. Be very mindful. Don't take it into some ranges where your body doesn't want to go to. You don't want to upset your hip flexors. Yeah? So just do as much as you possibly can, even if you just a little bit. Make sure that you are squeezing your glute, and that is what's moving your hip. And transition onto the other side. So again, see how it feels on this side. It feels really good. If you're sitting down for long periods of time, chances are that your hip flexors are going to be quite tight. If you are into going to the gym a lot, doing lots of deadlifts, squats, and lunges, then do this release or this warm up before you start doing that. All right, let's just go into some simple shin box switches. Moving dynamically side to side. If you can't put your knees fully on the ground, just go somewhere where you can without upsetting it too much. See how that feels, whether you have the same mobility available to you on both sides. Often, sometimes people are tight on one side. It could be for a variety of reasons. Often when women cross their legs, they will get a bit tighter on one side. I recommend you don't do that. It's not very good for you. Alrighty, let's go into the extension now. We did this one when we did hips on day 3, I believe. So if this is too challenging for you, you can use a little bit of momentum. Or if that's really challenging, just use your hand and push yourself a little bit. Yeah, give yourself a little bit of a boost. If you can transition from side to side, fantastic. Make sure you're using your glutes as the muscle that's moving you up. Okay, and then now we're going to transition into the pigeon. So in the shin box switch, we're now going to start turning, extending the leg if you can. If you can't fully lock your leg, don't worry, just leave it unlocked. Make sure that you're not lifting the other glute off the ground. This sit bone stays glued to the ground. So it's not a yoga pigeon here, but it is shin box pigeon. If you have the full range available to you, this is the movement expressed in its full range of motion. However, if you just need to stay upright, or you need to unlock that leg a little bit to allow you to go into this position, that do whatever your body asks to do. Okay, I've been doing this for many, many years, so I do have this range available, but if you don't, that is totally okay. You can change that very quickly. Within a week or two, you will notice changes in your body. Within 3 weeks, you'll be completely different if you commit to it every single day. And I think everybody can spend 10 minutes doing mobility movements in their day. I often ask people if they are on social media, they probably have time for mobility as well. You might not like to hear that, but there is always time. You can always make time. Okay, I'm going to show you one more movement that I also really enjoy. In the shin box switch, now you're going to do an arm thread. Yeah, so you are threading towards the hip here. Again, be mindful, only go to the range that your body wants to go to. It's quite full on. And then try the other side. Oh, I got a little bit of a crack. We should do the scorpion. Somebody said that the scorpion was their favorite. I can't quite remember who it was from the top of my head, but it was someone who really enjoyed it. So let's finish our beautiful about 15-minute mobility routine with the scorpion. But I'm just going to finish one more on the other side to even it out. And then let's go into the scorpion. I'm going to go this way. You will lie down onto the ground. You can actually see it really well from here. Now, you're going to pull one hand in, and then you're going to start twisting and popping this foot over behind the knee. If that's too much, just put it somewhere where it will naturally fall. Now you're feeling a really beautiful stretch in the bottom shoulder and chest. And you can also open the hip, and you're giving your spine a bit of a twist. So dynamically transition from side to side. Again, be mindful. Don't push into some ranges where your body doesn't want to go to yet. Let's see how you go with this one. I adore this one. There's such a beautiful chest stretch in the front of the shoulder. If you sit on your computer a lot, this will be fantastic for you. Also, if you think that you've got that rounded back posture, this is also fantastic for opening the chest and the hips. Let's do one more. And hopefully you feel amazing right now. So imagine if you were doing this every single day, preferably when you first wake up in the morning. I mean, wouldn't that feel just incredible? I think we were moving for about 15 minutes, but even if you just did 10, it will be incredible. How did it make you feel, Glad? Let me know in the comments, okay? That was fantastic. Thank you. I'm pleased you enjoyed it. Anybody else? There's someone else tuned in. Let me know how that made you feel, and whether you were moving with me or whether you're just watching at the moment and might perhaps try these movements a little bit later. Now, I have some exciting announcements, 2 announcements actually. I will be drawing some prizes on Monday. I'm going to let people just catch up with the replays, because I know people are busy and have lots on. And I know that some people are a little bit behind or just started watching the training. So I will give people a few days to catch up on all of the replays, and then I will draw some exciting prizes, coaching sessions with me, and giving away some of my programs. The second announcement is that today I'm opening the door into my brand new mini program called the Mobility Project. So if you have been absolutely falling in love with mobility and doing these mobility movements with me, then this will be perfect for you. I have basically taken all of the hard work from mobility movements and packaged it into small 10-minute mobility routines that you can do from anywhere. What else shall I tell you about the program? It's super cheap. It's only $97. And with that, you get 6 follow me mobility routines. You get a movement library of over 60 different mobility movements. I've also included as a bonus 3 mobility flows. So what is a mobility flow? A mobility flow is where you are, rather than just going through one mobility movement at a time, you're just combining mobility movements into one fluid flow. So if I was to show you a mobility flow, let's go, I'll show you one for the hips, one that I do quite often. Yeah. So a mobility flow is where you're dynamically flowing through a series of mobility movements, one after the other. So rather than performing lots and lots of repetitions of one movement, you are now flowing from one to the other. Yeah. This is where you can often get a little bit more of a strength component into your flows. You can also get a little bit of cardiovascular loading on your body. So this is a mobility body flow, as opposed to what we did just before, which was just doing the mobility movements individually. So in the mini program, I've put together 3 different, very short and quite easy mobility flows. And also I'm throwing in a live coaching session, live 90-minute coaching session where I will teach you how to do the body flows. Because that's where often people struggle, and because of various limitations, and that's where the magic happens. So I'm going to get you with people on Zoom for 90 minutes for a bit of Q&A and a bit of live coaching where I can assess your form or your technique, give you some modifications to allow for your injuries, and make you kind of discover how you can still move even if you have some limitations in the body. So the doors will be open for 1 week. And what else can I tell you? Let me know if you've got any questions. It is basically a complete blueprint to mobility movements. It will it will enable you to move every single day without the complicated kind of clicking through different trainings. And the way I've divided the training also, it's by body part. So you get 5, just like I did the challenge. So for 5 of the sessions, the pre-recording follow me sessions, you would get specifically into certain body parts. And then on day 6, you can combine it. So literally you can do mobility 6 days a week by just pushing a button. Let me know if you've got any questions. I will include a link to the page with a little bit more information here as well. Oh, Debbie found us. Fantastic. Yeah, some other people were having problems with finding the lives. I don't know why. Yeah, because it's set up in events and it should kind of show that I'm live. So that's fantastic, Debbie. You probably missed the mobility routine though, and you just watched the replay. It will be there. Okay. So any questions about the Mobility Project, a brand new, shiny mini program that I have just put together to allow people to do mobility movements every single day and discover the wonderful benefits of what it feels like to have a body that moves well with no pain, and to feel full of energy and vitality too, because that's what I love about mobility. It's how it makes me feel. Yes, it's letting me get into the body and make it move really well, but it always injects you with this burst of energy and vitality. And then, when your body feels good, you feel good. And on the other hand, when your body doesn't feel good and you've got some pains and it's just, it's not quite right, then you just don't feel good. Sounds awesome. Good, glad. I'll just put the link in the broadcast as well and put it in the group so you guys can check out. I've finished all the bits and bobs and putting all the details onto a page, so I will include it here and check it out. I really want to make it accessible to as many people as possible without that hefty price tag. And I have never before released so many mobility movements and so many routines outside of my expensive coaching programs. So this is a wonderful opportunity how to have a whole bunch of videos. You can just push play. It's also available on an app too. So if you just need to move around or you go away, it's literally accessible anywhere as long as you've got your phone on some kind of mobile device. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, beautiful women, for showing up and for carving out a little pocket of time for you and your body and to do some mobility movements. And I hope that you keep, even if you don't jump into the program, I hope that you will keep doing this, because this should become a part of your life, because then you ensure that you are aging without any issues and you can do whatever you love for the rest of your life. In your case, Debbie, it's surfing, right? Thank you. You are so welcome, Glad. It was lovely to have you here, because I'm pretty sure you showed up every single day, didn't you? Which is impressive. That is impressive. So I'm going to say goodbye. It's been such a pleasure to coach you through this and to show you what mobility movements are about and how easy it is to incorporate it into your life. Lots of love to you all, and I'll be in touch in the group. Thank you so much, Kakite Ano, and I will catch up with you next week. Bye.